The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not specifically require the use of safety chains for high bay and low bay high-intensity discharge, or HID, light fixtures. However, the NEC does require that all electrical equipment be installed in a manner that minimizes the risk of injury to personnel and damage to property. In some cases, a safety chain may be necessary to meet this requirement. For example, if the light fixture is installed in a location where it could be bumped or knocked over, a safety chain could help to prevent the fixture from falling and causing injury or damage. Ultimately, the decision of whether or not to use a safety chain is up to the installer. However, it is always best to err on the side of caution and use a safety chain if there is any doubt about the safety of the installation. Consider these factors when determining whether to install a safety chain. 1. The weight of the fixture. 2. The height of the installation. 3. The potential for the fixture to be bumped or knocked over. 4. Local codes or regulations. 5. Manufacturer's recommendations. 6. Risk assessment of the area. 7. The type of mounting hardware used. 8. The environment, for example, is it subject to vibration or strong winds? 9. The presence of other equipment or structures nearby. 10. Pedestrian or vehicle traffic in the area. Remember that even if not explicitly required by the NEC, installing a safety chain demonstrates a commitment to safety and can prevent accidents. Always follow best practices and prioritize safety in electrical installations. Electrical codes are not exhaustive lists of every single safety precaution. They provide a minimum standard, and installers are always encouraged to exceed that minimum when necessary to ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Consulting with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector can provide further guidance on specific installations. They can assess the environment and help you determine whether a safety chain is appropriate for a particular lighting fixture. The absence of a specific requirement in the NEC does not negate the importance of general safety principles. Always adhere to relevant safety standards and use professional judgment to determine the most appropriate installation methods. Proper installation and maintenance of lighting fixtures are crucial for safety. Regularly inspect the fixtures and their supports, including any safety chains, for signs of wear or damage. Replace any damaged components promptly. Ensure that all electrical connections are secure and that the wiring is properly protected. Consider additional safety measures beyond safety chains, such as using vibration-resistant hardware or installing guards to protect the fixtures from impact. Always de-energize the circuit before working on any electrical equipment. Follow lockout, tag-out procedures to prevent accidental energization. Use appropriate personal protective equipment, or PPE, such as safety glasses and gloves. Safety chains are typically made of metal and are designed to support the weight of the fixture. Ensure that the chain is properly sized for the fixture and that it is securely attached to both the fixture and the building structure. Use appropriate hardware, such as shackles or quick links, to connect the chain. Do not use makeshift or inadequate attachment methods. The attachment points for the safety chain should be strong enough to support the weight of the fixture. If necessary, reinforce the building structure to provide adequate support. Consider using multiple safety chains for heavy fixtures or in areas with high winds or vibration. The NEC provides general guidelines for electrical installations, but it is important to consult local codes and regulations, as they may have additional requirements. Local jurisdictions may have specific rules regarding the use of safety chains for lighting fixtures. Always obtain the necessary permits and inspections for electrical work. This will help to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. Keep accurate records of all electrical work, including the installation of lighting fixtures and safety chains. This information may be useful for future maintenance or inspections. Proper documentation can also help to demonstrate compliance with codes and regulations. Regularly review and update your knowledge of electrical codes and safety practices. This will help you to stay informed of the latest requirements and best practices. Electrical codes and standards are constantly evolving, so it is important to stay up to date. Participate in continuing education courses and workshops to maintain your professional competence. Consult with experienced electrical professionals to learn from their expertise and best practices. Learning from others can help you to improve your skills and knowledge. Consider joining professional organizations such as the Institute of Electrical and Electronics Engineers, or IEE, or the International Association of Electrical Inspectors, or IE. These organizations provide valuable resources and networking opportunities. When evaluating the potential for impact or accidental contact, consider the height and location of the fixture. Fixtures mounted in high traffic areas or at lower heights are more likely to be struck by equipment or personnel. In such cases, safety chains are particularly important. Assess the type of activity that takes place in the area. Areas with heavy machinery, forklifts, or other moving equipment pose a greater risk to lighting fixtures. Consider the potential for objects to fall from above. In areas with overhead cranes or storage racks, lighting fixtures may be at risk of being struck by falling objects. Take steps to protect the fixtures from these hazards. Evaluate the potential for vandalism or theft. In some areas, lighting fixtures may be targeted by vandals or thieves. Safety chains can help to deter theft and prevent damage to the fixtures. Consider the aesthetic impact of safety chains. While safety is the primary concern, it is also important to consider the appearance of the installation. Choose safety chains that are visually appealing and do not detract from the overall aesthetic of the space. Consult with architects or designers to ensure that the safety chains are integrated seamlessly into the design. Explore different types of safety chains to find the best option for your application. Some safety chains are made of steel, while others are made of stainless steel or other materials. The choice of material will depend on the environment and the specific requirements of the installation. Steel chains are generally more affordable, while stainless steel chains are more resistant to corrosion. Consider using coated safety chains to provide additional protection against corrosion and wear. Coated chains are available in a variety of colors to match the lighting fixtures or the surrounding environment. Ensure that the safety chains are installed in a way that does not create a tripping hazard. The chains should be routed and secured to prevent them from dangling or obstructing pathways. Consider using chain guards or covers to protect the chains from damage and to prevent them from becoming a tripping hazard. Regularly inspect the safety chains for signs of wear or damage. Replace any damaged chains immediately. Safety chains should be replaced at regular intervals, even if they do not show any signs of wear or damage. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for the replacement schedule. Keep a record of all safety chain inspections and replacements. This will help you to track the maintenance history of the lighting fixtures and ensure that the safety chains are properly maintained. Provide training to employees on the proper use and maintenance of lighting fixtures and safety chains. Employees should be aware of the potential hazards associated with lighting fixtures and should know how to inspect and maintain the safety chains. Post warning signs in areas where lighting fixtures are installed to alert personnel to the potential hazard. The warning sign should be clear and concise and should be placed in a conspicuous location. Conduct regular safety audits to identify potential hazards and to ensure that all safety precautions are being followed. Safety audits should be conducted by qualified personnel and should cover all aspects of the electrical installation. Implement a comprehensive safety program to promote a culture of safety in the workplace. The safety program should include policies, procedures, and training to ensure that all employees are aware of their responsibilities for safety. Encourage employees to report any safety concerns or potential hazards. Promptly investigate and address all reported safety concerns. Continuously improve the safety program based on feedback from employees, safety audits, and incident investigations. The NEC does not provide specific details on the size or type of safety chain to use. The selection of the appropriate safety chain will depend on the weight of the fixture, the height of the installation, and other factors. Consult with a qualified electrical engineer or inspector to determine the appropriate safety chain for your application. The NEC does require that all electrical equipment be installed in a neat and workmanlike manner. This means that the installation should be clean, organized, and free from hazards. Ensure that all wiring is properly supported and protected. Avoid creating sharp bends or kinks in the wiring. Use appropriate connectors and fittings to make secure and reliable electrical connections. Do not overload electrical circuits. Overloading circuits can cause overheating, fires, and other hazards. Ensure that all electrical equipment is properly grounded. Grounding helps to protect against electrical shock and other hazards. Test electrical circuits regularly to ensure that they are functioning properly. Use appropriate test equipment and follow safe testing procedures. Consult the manufacturer's instructions for the proper installation and maintenance of lighting fixtures and safety chains. The manufacturer's instructions may provide specific recommendations for the use of safety chains in certain applications. Follow all applicable codes and regulations when installing lighting fixtures and safety chains. Codes and regulations are designed to protect the public from electrical hazards. Obtain the necessary permits and inspections for electrical work. Permits and inspections help to ensure that the installation meets all applicable codes and standards. Keep accurate records of all electrical work, including the installation of lighting fixtures and safety chains. This information may be useful for future maintenance or inspections. Consider using a checklist to ensure that all safety precautions are followed during the installation of lighting fixtures and safety chains. A checklist can help to prevent errors and omissions. Regularly review and update the checklist to reflect any changes in codes or regulations. Stay informed of the latest safety practices and technologies. New safety practices and technologies are constantly being developed to improve electrical safety. Attend industry conferences and trade shows to learn about the latest innovations. Subscribe to industry publications and online resources to stay informed of current events and trends. Network with other electrical professionals to share knowledge and best practices. Collaboration can help to improve safety and efficiency. Remember that safety is always the top priority. Take the time to plan and execute electrical work safely. By following these guidelines, you can help to prevent electrical accidents and injuries. Consider the environmental conditions in which the lighting fixture will be installed. In harsh environments, such as those with high humidity or corrosive substances, it may be necessary to use special types of safety chains that are resistant to corrosion. In areas with high winds, it may be necessary to use heavy-duty safety chains to prevent the fixtures from swaying or falling. In areas with vibration, it may be necessary to use vibration-resistant hardware to prevent the fixtures from loosening or breaking. Consider the potential for seismic activity in the area. In areas that are prone to earthquakes, it may be necessary to use seismic-rated safety chains and mounting hardware. Ensure that the safety chains are properly installed and that they are able to withstand the forces of an earthquake. Consult with a structural engineer to determine the appropriate seismic design for the lighting fixtures and safety chains. Consider the accessibility of the lighting fixtures for maintenance and repair. Ensure that the fixtures can be easily accessed for cleaning, lamp replacement, and other maintenance tasks. Use appropriate access equipment, such as ladders or lifts, to safely reach the fixtures. Provide adequate lighting in the area to ensure that maintenance personnel can see what they are doing. Consider the energy efficiency of the lighting fixtures. Use energy-efficient lamps and fixtures to reduce energy consumption and save money. Consider using lighting controls to automatically turn off the lights when they are not needed. Regularly clean the lighting fixtures to maintain their light output. Dust and dirt can reduce the amount of light that is emitted from the fixtures. Consider the impact of the lighting on the surrounding environment. Avoid using lighting that is too bright or that shines directly into the eyes of people or animals. Use shielded lighting to reduce glare and light pollution. Consider the use of timers or motion sensors to control the lighting. Timers and motion sensors can help to conserve energy and reduce light pollution. Consider the use of dimming controls to adjust the brightness of the lighting. Dimming controls can help to create a more comfortable and energy-efficient environment. Consider the use of color-changing lighting to create different moods or effects. Color-changing lighting can be used to enhance the ambience of a space. Consider the use of decorative lighting to add visual interest to a space. Decorative lighting can be used to create a focal point or to add a touch of elegance. Regularly inspect the lighting system to identify any problems or potential hazards. Promptly repair any problems that are found. Keep a record of all lighting system inspections and repairs. This information may be useful for future maintenance or inspections. Consider hiring a qualified electrical contractor to perform the installation and maintenance of the lighting system. A qualified electrical contractor will have the knowledge and experience to ensure that the system is installed and maintained safely and properly. By following these guidelines, you can help to ensure that the lighting system is safe, efficient, and aesthetically pleasing. The selection of the appropriate safety chain for lighting fixtures depends on several factors, including the weight of the fixture, the mounting height, and the environmental conditions. Here's a more detailed breakdown of the factors to consider and the steps involved in selecting the right safety chain. First, determine the weight of the lighting fixture. The weight of the fixture is the primary factor in determining the appropriate size and strength of the safety chain. Consult the manufacturer's specifications to determine the weight of the fixture. If the weight is not readily available, you can weigh the fixture using a scale. Be sure to include the weight of any accessories such as lamps, reflectors, and mounting hardware. Second, determine the mounting height of the lighting fixture. The mounting height of the fixture affects the amount of force that will be exerted on the safety chain in the event of a failure. The higher the mounting height, the greater the force. Third, consider the environmental conditions. Environmental conditions such as wind, vibration, and corrosion can also affect the selection of the safety chain. In areas with high winds, it is important to use a heavy-duty chain that can withstand the wind forces. In areas with vibration, it is important to use a chain that is resistant to fatigue. In corrosive environments, it is important to use a chain that is made of corrosion-resistant materials. Fourth, select a safety chain with an appropriate working load limit. The working load limit, or WLL, is the maximum weight that the chain is designed to support. The WLL should be greater than the weight of the fixture, plus a safety factor. A safety factor of 5 is typically used for safety chains. This means that the WLL should be at least 5 times the weight of the fixture. Fifth, choose the right type of safety chain. There are several different types of safety chains available, including steel chains, stainless steel chains, and alloy steel chains. Steel chains are the most common type of safety chain and are suitable for most applications. Stainless steel chains are more resistant to corrosion and are a good choice for harsh environments. Alloy steel chains are the strongest type of safety chain and are used for heavy-duty applications. Sixth, select the appropriate size of safety chain. The size of the safety chain refers to the diameter of the chain links. The size of the chain should be appropriate for the weight of the fixture and the WLL of the chain. Consult a chain manufacturer's catalog or website for guidance on selecting the appropriate size of chain. Seventh, choose the right end fittings. End fittings are used to connect the safety chain to the lighting fixture and the building structure. There are several different types of end fittings available, including hooks, shackles, and quick links. Choose end fittings that are appropriate for the application and that are compatible with the safety chain. 8th, inspect the safety chain before use. Before using a safety chain, inspect it carefully for any signs of damage, such as cracks, wear, or corrosion. Do not use a safety chain that is damaged. 9th, install the safety chain properly. The safety chain should be installed in accordance with the manufacturer's instructions. Ensure that the chain is securely attached to both the lighting fixture and the building structure. 10th, maintain the safety chain regularly. Safety chain should be inspected regularly for any signs of damage. Replace any damaged chains immediately. Keep a record of all safety chain inspections and replacements. 11th, consider local codes and regulations. Local codes and regulations may have specific requirements for the use of safety chains for lighting fixtures. Consult with your local building department to determine if there are any specific requirements in your area. By following these steps, you can select the appropriate safety chain for your lighting fixtures and ensure that they're installed safely. Always prioritize safety when working with electrical equipment.